Brothers and sisters, thankful I got on here late. Nonetheless, I'm trying to keep with a good schedule, and I pray that we get good participation tonight on the show. It's my desire and my prayer that we get great participation on the show, because I know I'm starting late, and I don't want for time to pass us. I really don't. Well, we don't recognize our brother, Bob Hicks. I don't want it. And we're going to talk about some things that we should be cognizant of as Black people as we end this revolution. And the subject tonight will let you know that this is nothing new, that ever since you and I have come to this place, to this nation on this planet, we have been fighting in a revolution. We've been fighting in it, whether we've known it or not, because the very people that enslaved you and I did not just wake up yesterday, or rather today being the enemy, or yesterday to be the enemy, but these people have always been your and my enemy here in America, and your and my enemy across the globe. And you can figure this out anywhere that you go. You'll be able to see this. You'll be able to see this anywhere you go. You're able to figure this out. And the reason that you're able to figure it out is that this man, you call a man, kind of man. And I have to say kind of man, because when you think of what a human is and think of humankind, then you have to recognize that there is a man, and then there's mankind, or a kind of man, that have, since the very, very beginning, tortured you and I to the very state that you and I are in today. And it's not anything that you and I will ever be able to get by. You'll have to know that. Peace, Sister Donna. Thank you for joining me tonight. Apologize for being late, but it's been a very busy day. As you can see, I have a shadow, so I didn't get a chance to do a third shave. So it's been very, very busy, very busy. I have to shave 3 times a day to make sure that I'm neat and presentable. And beyond all that, I've been fighting with, I say fighting, I mean disagreeing heavily with Black people that are working for the white man. So you've got a black head, and rather a white head and black hands. What do I mean? You have a white head that lead Black people who are zombie-like to do evil with their hands. And what that's like. I know what that's like to be zombied, because I was a zombie at one time under the teachings of Louis Farrakhan. I was a zombie. And Farrakhan, from the time that I came into the Muslim movement, introduced to the Muslim movement by the Honorable Dr. Khalid Muhammad, a true fighter and a true Black nationalist for the freedom of Black people. Ever since Dr. Muhammad, Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad, ever since he brought me in to this organization led by Minister Farrakhan. Ever since he brought me in, and my eyes were open. When God opened my eyes, I've been asking the questions, even to Dr. Khalid, about what is the character of this man that we've allowed to teach us. It's very important because he's as old as some of the other revolutionaries and have seen the revolutions out. But if you look very closely, you'll find out that he's never really done anything in the revolution. And I have to say that, and I know there are many of you wondering why I have to say something about Minister Louis Farrakhan. I say it because he's evident and evident before us, the same way Al Sharpton is, saying the same thing and haven't done anything different. Well, ladies and gentlemen, tonight I'd like to bring before you a revolutionary that is worthy of being called a revolutionary. I want to bring that to you tonight. And this brother that I speak of is none other than the brother, Mr., or rather the Honorable. And he is honorable, brothers and sisters. Honorable Robert Bob Hicks, the Deacon of Defense, or Deacon for Defense and Justice. And he came out of Louisiana, close to Jonesboro, Louisiana. And this brother had organized the Deacons for Defense in the Christian churches. And this, so I guess, in a sense, is vindication for me, because I often hear the black Christians say that, well, we've never had anyone in our organization that believes in the gun. And that's not true. It's not true. You had Robert F. Williams, which we're going to talk about sometime soon. And I've talked about him before. But this brother, Robert Bob Hicks, that formed the Deacon for Defense. So you had defense units that protected Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., that protected the lives of Sister Betty X, Sister Coretta Scott King, and many of the other leaders, Harry Belafonte, Dick Gregory, many of the leaders, Southern Christian Leadership Council, the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, many of the leaders and organizations were represented by this brother and his group, who protected them and brought them justice and brought them peace and brought them equality as they were on the road. And I say that because with their protection, they were able to speak justice, able to speak peace, and able to speak equality. So, brothers and sisters, this is one of the most important brothers that I'd ever met in my life. And I talk about him often in open forum. I talk about him, especially when they like to know questions about Robert Bob Hicks. And I tell them, I said, I met the brother. I didn't spend much time around him, but I had a chance to meet him because I drove down to meet him. Once they had aired a movie, it inspired me to meet him. They aired a movie about Deacon for Defense and Justice. And so when Forrest Whitaker, thank you for the like, when Forrest Whitaker played in this movie to explain, and did just a great job of it, to explain about Robert Bob Hicks and the others that participated in the Deacons for Defense and Justice. It was just a warm feeling to know that, and to be encouraged that there are some brothers and sisters in the Christian churches that are ready, willing, and able to fight. And I saw that earlier on when I was in the Muslim movement with or under the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, a man who I've said before, which I believe is less than honorable, but I'd say he's honorable because that's what they call him. And I don't seek to disrespect nor divide or drive a wedge between us, but I will tell the truth about this man because I think he's been a very deafening flaw and a very deafening blow to us in the black community. Now, as you know, Juneteenth is coming up, and I don't understand. I have to tell you, I don't understand it. I understand the form of the celebration, that we're not in physical slavery, anymore. So I guess I can understand that. But the fact of the matter is that We're still in economic slavery. We're still in mental slavery, still in psychological slavery, still in sociological slavery, still in biological slavery. Why do I say that? Because we are under the constant threat of death, my brothers and my sisters, under the constant threat of death in all of those areas. If you look around the country, you can hardly find a black business in town or a black business district that's able to compete with white business districts in town. And there's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. When you were booming in business, the white man harassed you. They came in to shoot you up, cut you up, chop you up, and it came to harass you up. He came to you to do that. And I understand it. I understand he came to do that. And that's fine. I understand it. But brothers and sisters, it's only because we did not have an army. We didn't have an army to protect us. Now, self-defense units, we should have them all over now. I mean, how many times are we going to get killed, and how long have we been preaching this philosophy? Been preaching it a long time. Been preaching it a very, 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 very long time. And if they understood back then that they had to have defense, why is it so hard for us to understand now that we need organization of armies and militias to defend us in this day and time when the white man, in a lesser time of control, is running into our house, shooting us, running into the churches, shooting us. As a matter of fact, another one just got killed in the church in Alabama. Just got killed. Brothers and sisters, it's painful. To see these things happen is just painful. It's ridiculous to see these things happen and to know that our people have yet to wake up and talk about peace. And I tell you, you're going to need defense units because you'll never find a white man. I believe I have to say this, but I have to say it. The white man is not your friend. I know some of them are nice. I know some of them have been good to you for many years and knew your parents and your great-grandparents and all of that. But I want you to understand that when you've seen one white man, you've seen them all. When you've seen one white woman, you've seen them all, because they're not going to sacrifice their comfortability for you. Brothers and sisters, I wish you could accept and understand this. My God, I wish that you could really understand it. Now, they're continuously killing us. Continuously. I mean, they killed somebody in the church in South Carolina. Dylan Roof walked in and shot all those people dead. Why won't the black churches get security or get somebody who's carrying a gun and defend the churches? I don't understand that. It doesn't matter if it's a mosque or a Christian church. It doesn't matter. We've got to get guns and defend ourselves. We have the right to self-defense when the devil is walking in and killing us like there's no tomorrow. It's time for you and I, brothers and sisters, to use the brains that God gave to our ancestors. Robert Bob Hicks believed in the gun. And he was a deacon in the church that came out of the Baptist church who believed in the gun. Organized group that would give protection to Minister Malcolm X, Minister Martin Luther King Jr., Sister Betty Shabazz, to give protection to Sister Betty X, to give protection to Southern Christian Leadership Council, Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. And these defense organizations grew through the Baptist church no matter where the Baptist church was. Now, I said that to say this. If the Baptist church, which is the most solemn and peaceful and forgiving and long-suffering organization that I've seen on this planet, can understand that they need a gun, why is it Why is it that churches around the world that are black, why is it that we won't get guns to defend our people? We have seen in the past, this organization was created in 1965. They knew that they needed guns. It became official in 66. They understood that they needed guns to protect our people. We won't be able to have services in the churches unless we get them. Brothers and sisters, it's too late in the game. We're in the fourth quarter of these devils killing us, and we still won't even get guns. I mean, I have a gun. I'm going to defend my family wherever I am. The devil comes in, it's his life he's going to lose, and I'm going to praise God when he walks in, because he's been giving me what I want, to take him out. One less threat for the black community. I made up my mind that if he come in, he ain't going to leave. It'd be like the Roach Motel. You can check in, but you can't check out. That's the way it's going to be. The way it's going to be. So we've got to get steadfast, brothers and sisters. We're going to be out for Juneteenth. You should be out with a weapon, whether you got a weapon permit or not. Let me say that again. I said, if you ain't got a gun on your side, brother, you're wrong. Sister, you're wrong. If you ain't got something to protect you, because I'm telling you, it's cold out there. It may be hot outside, but it's cold in here. And I hope you understand what I'm saying. And you'll never leave home and should never leave home without any heat. You just shouldn't do it. Now, this sounds like violence. But I put the brother name on the on this show so you could see it. That if they knew back in 1965 and knew back in 1945 and knew back in 1925 and knew back in 1895 and knew in 1865 that they needed weapons, and they didn't have half the brains that we got today, then why don't you understand that you need one, brothers and sisters? I don't get it. I don't understand it. So I'm welcoming you today. I'm so glad you do, sister. Sister Donna, bless you. You see, because we got to have it. It's like the American Express card. Don't leave home without it. Because you're going to have to make some deposits. Oh, I hope you hear me. In these devils and demons that are shooting us down. And we have yet to answer back. Don't look for the fake revolutionaries to do it. They're not going to do it. And I opened the doors to the African American Defense League. I opened the doors. And one day, if we can ever get the Baptist churches to really, really open up, and they're not far behind because they're already having meetings. I know because I've been to some of them. They're ready to form a Deacon for Defense. And when we can get it fully formed around America, then we'll know that our people are going to be safe. Because the minute the Baptist churches begin to do it, the Black Baptist churches, then you'll find that other churches will begin to do this too. And so I'm happy, brothers and sisters, today because you're seeing the same thing that I'm seeing. I've been saying it for years. Since 1986, when I was 12 years old, I've been saying it because God showed me that the white man will never change. He'll never change. If you wait on him to change, you won't get it. He won't change. You should know by now that the white man is violent, that he's a bloody beast, that he's standing before you with bloody jaws like a bloody jawed wolf. You should know that already. You should know that he's the sly fox that leads you down into the bear's den. You should know that already. You should know that about the white man. Nobody should have to tell you any different. They knew it. Bob Hicks knew it. He formed, and you know it had to get bad if the Baptist church was forming militia groups, and that's what it was. Deacon for Defense and Justice is a militia group that protected black people from white militias. And when you got white militias and you got white militia vigilantes, you need black vigilantes, you need black militias, and you need black mercenaries to take these devils out. You gotta have it. We can't have, this is the reason why we can't have militias running around playing that are black. Can't do it, brothers and sisters. We gotta have militias that are ready to die. Whether you know it or not, you better be ready to die, because you don't know when some devil will come up in your face to take your life. You just don't know it. You don't know it. So you got to be ready to die. You see, and if you are ready to die, then you'll fight to live. You don't hear me. You don't hear me. I said if you're ready to die, you'll fight to live. Because it's not until you are ready to fight to live that you'll be ready to die. And that is the one that will win a war. When you get to this place, you're ready to win the war. I hope somebody out there hear me. Because today, you and I are trapped, double trapped, triple trapped on this white man's plantation. And this man, this white man that you and I are dealing with is nothing but a low-down, dirty snake in the grass. Brothers and sisters, you got to know that. I don't care how much they smile on your face. I don't care how much money they give you. I don't care how many you sleeping with. Some brothers and sisters out there sleeping with these devils. Could have a brother or sister of your own, and you out there sleeping with the enemy. I mean, it's a shame. There are many out there sleeping with the enemy because they haven't woke up to the reality that the white man can't love anybody. The white man is incapable of loving anybody, and he doesn't deserve our love, and he shouldn't get our love. I wouldn't go to any place where there's not black people around. If I'm going to take a chance on my life, and every day you step out of your house, you're taking a chance. Every day you step out, you're taking a chance at your life. So brothers and sisters, we've got to get real today. We've got to get organized. You know, you got to really understand what the term means when it says get suited and get booted today. Because they're out killing us like there's no tomorrow. Now, they had a killing in Alabama. Why? Why would they have racial killings? Because you're in the most racist time of your life. Don't forget to like, brothers and sisters, please. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We got 5 viewers watching. Let's get those 5 viewers to like. We probably got more. As a matter of fact, we got more viewers watching. Let's get each of those to make sure you like or dislike. It's okay if you dislike, but just show that you have some participation. If you have any questions, please put the questions in the comment section and let's talk about it. Let's discuss it. Because there may be some people that believe that we're not in any danger. And I beg to differ, and I'm just waiting for somebody to tell me. Because if I'm wrong, please tell me. But everywhere I look and everywhere I turn, I see that we're being killed. We're being killed, brothers and sisters. And we have to love ourselves enough to overcome the fear. We have to love ourselves that much to overcome the fear. And we got to continue to build up. I don't care if we're going to one person a day, but build up a defense in our community and start a community watch program so that if that devil come through, I don't care if he got on a blue uniform or not, that if he's ready to dance with the devil, that you send him to the grave. You don't hear me. I said if that devil's ready to dance, send him to the grave. Because he's killing us by and large every day. This man is killing us. We've got to get strong, steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of God and not fearing any man. When you look at it, you're crazy. You've lost your mind. Who is the white man to fear? He's a coward, brothers and sisters. That's why I keep telling you. It's the only reason he keep ganging up on you. When he came to Africa, he was a coward. He was a coward when he came to Africa. Then he ganged up on you. He ganged up on you because he's a coward. He lynches you because he's a coward. He'll come unsuspecting to shoot you because he's a coward. There's no way that he was walk unarmed and do that to you. Now, this buffalo shooting, you take Take this Buffalo shooting, for instance. The man that did that shooting in Buffalo, New York, was just talking to a black man before he did the killing. Don't you know that white people can talk to you and have no kind of emotional attachment? Don't you know that? Don't you know that it is the job of a spy to get all of the information? This is the job of an agent to get all of the information for his own reconnaissance so he can come and take over whatever he fears? Brothers and sisters, we have to move with assertiveness, same way Bob Hicks did. You should understand who Bob Hicks was. So you could read, really get some understanding. Who was Bob Hicks? What did he do? What is Deacons for Defense? Why is it so important? Bob Hicks, brothers and sisters, this powerful brother. Powerful brother. When you look at him, when the first time that I met him, very first time that I met Mr. Robert Hicks, man was a very laid back, gentle spirit brother. Very gentle spirit brother. He wasn't agitated in any way. So I saw Deacon for Defense, the movie. And so it inspired me. I said, I would like to go and meet this Bob Hicks. This is 2003. Somewhere around 2003, I believe it was. April or May of 2003. I went down to meet. No, it wasn't. April. Yeah, it was. It was in 2003. Latter that year, as a matter of fact. It was somewhere around November, December 2003. And this brother from Bogalusa, Alabama, I had to go because Bogalusa, Alabama? Man, who was this brother that came from there, from Bogalusa, Alabama, organized a militia group to defend black people and also Baptist ministers and their leaders during the civil rights movement? Who is this brother? Who is this brother? We have to put an end to physical segregation and discriminatory practices in education and housing, employment, and in the public accommodation and healthcare center there in Louisiana. Who is this brother? Who is this brother that was best known for his leading role in the Bogalusa chapter of the Deacons for Defense and Justice? An armed African-American group. Brothers and sisters, you hear me? Armed African-American group. Armed. Out of the Baptist church. This brother led protests in the Jim Crow area in Louisiana. In Louisiana. Brother had some, you know what he had. You know what he had. Brother had some, man. He had some heavy ones. Walking through there, brothers and sisters, and dealing with these devils. Organized voting. Series of civil rights lawsuits. Still with an army. Out of the Baptist church. This is a strange brother. I said, man, I got to find out about this brother. I need to find out who this brother really was. Who was he? Where did he come from? Then my mind was blown because he wasn't born. And I'm saying, I've been listening as he's talking to me. I'm like, wow, this is interesting. This brother is something strange. You know, brothers and sisters, every now and then you'll meet somebody who has a strange pull on you. Strange pull. And this brother told me he was really from what was it? Pachuta, Mississippi. And his parents had moved there in 1929 to Quitman and Mabel. What was it? They moved to Quitman County. You look now, Quitman County is Jonesboro, Louisiana, somewhat on the outside of Jonesboro, Louisiana. And then he said from there that they'd moved a few other times. But they ended up in Bogalusa, Alabama. And think of the transformation, brothers and sisters, of this brother. Just think of the transformation of this brother. Now, I don't know about you, but I've been to Mississippi on several occasions, especially when Dr. Khalid was leading us. And Mississippi has a strange affect on African Americans. I mean, or black people. It was one of the most psychologically and sociologically depressing states that I'd ever seen in my life. I mean it. Not because it didn't have much economics, not because of the poverty situation there, but because the black people from that area bought into the system that oppressed them. And that's saying something, brothers and sisters, because as long as you can overcome the thought that you can't do anything, then you always get something done. But the minute that a system tells you that you've never done anything, you will never get anything done. And I want you to understand that. And Mississippi is no exception to many states in the American nation. No exception to many states. And I want you to understand that this brother came from a depressed state, sociologically, where he had seen black people killed, black people lynched in his own community, and nothing be done about it. But you know how when you wake up in the morning and you know the lights are off in the room and you're asleep because you're resting in the shadows. You can sleep in the dark but rest in the shadows. And you know how when you wake up and the sun is shining high and a little bit of sun, just a little bit of sun, just enough, will shine in the room to give some light to wake you up. But if you get too much of it in your eyes, you have to put your hand up to sort of block the sun out. This is how this brother explained to me that it became intelligence, it became logic, just plain common sense for him that black people had to defend themselves, because he had seen how docile blacks were from the youthful age until his adult age. He had seen how docile they were. Brothers and sisters, don't forget to like. Please, please don't forget to like and thumbs up and subscribe, please. And it struck me. For the first time I learned it doesn't matter where a person is from. It doesn't matter if they're from the most oppressive state in the nation. It doesn't matter if they're from the most oppressive country in the nation. That if they make up their mind to stand, to fight, then that devil, whoever they're fighting, has got a fight on their hands. They got a fight on their hands. And that's the thing I like about Bob Hicks. He wasn't boisterous, excuse me, brothers and sisters. You'll never see a true revolutionary tell you everything that they're going to do. You'll never see their organized moves, their evolutions, or anything like that. You'll never see it. You'll never see it. Not a true revolutionary. They'll give knowledge all day. They'll teach all day and night. And they'll assist all day and night, but they'll never let you know what their true moves and their revolutions are. They'll never let you do it. And I'm so thankful for that. I'm so thankful for it because this in these kind of situations that we're in today, this is how revolutionaries are born. And we have so much happening to us today, brothers and sisters. Too much happening to us today. So much happening to us today where we're being gunned down. This latest killing that they've had in Alabama. And I hope that we can talk about it because it's very important. It's important that you understand. If you never understood anything else, in your life, it's important that you understand that these killings are not going to stop until you make them stop. And you know what you got to do to make them stop. You already know the way that you got to act to make these shootings stop. And brothers and sisters, if you don't stop it, you're finished. They are trying to exterminate and cull at least 1 billion black people in America. An equivalent in every continent that there are black people around the globe. These white people are out to exterminate you and I and to make us extinct. You got somebody right now, brothers and sisters. You got somebody right now saying, well, you know, the brother's crazy. You know, it's all he ever talk about. It's all they ever talk about because I don't see anybody standing up and enough backlash. I don't see it. So I don't have a choice but to talk about it and put myself out here. Again, I tell you, like Dr. Khalid told us, everybody can't be mealy mouth. Everybody can't tiptoe through the tulips. Everybody can't be soft or peaceful. Somebody got to say something today to our people. Somebody has to say something. Somebody's got to be hard and fight harder every day, every week, every month, every year, every minute, every hour, every second of the day. Because brothers and sisters, while these devils kill us, and you got these people talking about peace, steady talking about peace, you ain't got no peace. You ain't going to have it. You won't have it. You won't have any peace that you're not responsible for making. You won't have it. And I really feel bad, tell you. This Christian jive, man, it's got a lot of people, man, tripped up and doped up and hyped up, so much so until you can't even open your eyes to see that the devil's trying to kill you. He's gunning for you every day. And then you got people like Louis Farrakhan who's teaching a type of teaching, something that sounds like Muhammad, but denying the power thereof, brothers and sisters. Let's look. Why? Why do we have to talk about mass killings? Why do we have to concentrate on the white man's gun violence against the black? You got to understand. And then they got the nerve, this that white man for you, he got the nerve to tell you and I that we don't need guns. He even got preachers and Muslim leaders now telling black people you don't need a gun. Imagine that. Now here you are getting killed and you still run around talking about we shall overcome someday. Deep in my heart, I do believe. I mean, that is the biggest hype ever seen in my life, brothers and sisters. Here in 2002, let's talk about it. January the 12th in California, Los Angeles, California. You had mass killing there. You had 3 killed, 4 injured. Then in Michigan, June 12th, you had, this the same date. Same date. That's what I want to tell you. That they're doing it all over. The media is tricking you up and tripping you up because they'll only tell you what they want to know. What does that mean? That means that the white media is still pushing white nationalism. They're on the side of the ones that's killing us. And I know you don't believe that, see, because you still believe that the white man is your friend. Still believe that the white man is your friend. I know that's right, Sister Donna. You can't bring a knife to a gunfight. And man, I mean, you see Al Sharpton, it's a shame. Brothers and sisters, he tells you that we got to have peace in the community. Now, you tell the person that's being killed that he has to have peace in the community. I want you to just look at that. Just look at that and see how foolish that sounds. When the man is shooting you down Every time you turn around, he's killing you. Don't forget the thumbs up, brothers and sisters. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. We got to build up, brothers and sisters. Why do I keep saying that? We got to build up a group and following of believers so that you can get out and tell brothers and sisters what thus said the Lord. God wants you to protect your family. You're not being good Christians. You're not being good Muslims. You're not being good Hebrew Israelites. You're not being good Moorish Assigned Templars of America. You're not being a good Jehovah's Witness or whatever you are as black people and not defending your keep. What kind of God would shine on you by letting your wife and your child getting killed and not setting up any protection? That's not the kind of God you serve. It's the kind of God the white man serves. He's on the white man's side. That's why the white man has a white Jesus. Nah, you didn't hear that. That went over your head. The white Jesus belongs to the white man. And he gave him to you only because the white Jesus believes in racism just like the white man does. I know there's some people right now. We got a story coming up, show coming up about Billy Graham. I know there's some people right now saying, well, you know, they had Billy Graham, and Billy Graham, he preached peace. He brought us all together. Billy Graham preached white nationalism. And you still don't get it. You just don't get it. Billy Graham preached white nationalism. But because he knew how to twist Jesus and the cross and put it in your mind a certain way to make it fit, you believe, because that was his job to make you believe that he was actually there preaching for us. Brothers and sisters, that's not true. Not true. He preached white nationalism. There's never been one white preacher that doesn't preach white nationalism, proof of which, anytime he has white privilege, white nationalism guarantees white privilege because white nationalism is white racism. We got to be true to ourselves. They had a mass killing on the January the 12th in Indiana, Gary, Indiana. You had 2 killed there, you had 4 injured. Then there was another mass killing in Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm just trying to tell you so you know. On June the 12th. What happened there? You had a mass shooting, 5 people were injured. They intended to kill them all. Then there was another killing in Louisiana, New Orleans, 4 was killed. Then there was another killing in Colorado, Denver, Colorado, where 2 was killed, 4 was wounded. Then you had, what was it, Michigan? We all know about that. There in Clover Avenue, Clover Lawn Avenue, 113,500 or 13500 at the block of Clover Lawn. And there were 4 that were injured there. Then there was a killing. Now look, I want you to understand, all of these are June the 12th. Then on the 11th, you had, Antioch, Tennessee, where 2 was killed and 2 was injured. Then you had Illinois on June the 11th, where on the 8600 block there in Damon Avenue, you had, 4 that was wounded, 1 killed. Then you had shooting in Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky. All of these places where people that are black live. All of these people that live in these places are black being shot by white people. What happened there? 4 was killed, or rather 4 was wounded, 1 killed. Then you had 6 wounded in Louisville. 6. So you had Georgia, in Atlanta, Georgia, when was it? June the 10th. All of this happened in June the 10th. In Atlanta, Georgia, you had 1 killed, 3 injured. Then in Maryland, you had 3 killed, 3 injured. So all of these places, in Yuma, Arizona, there was 4 wounded there. In Portsmouth, Virginia, there was 4 killed, and some were wounded. They didn't get a direct number of the ones that were wounded. And you look at in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Oh, look here. All of these places, 2125 McCallie Avenue. All of these places where the mass shooting happened were black people. There were 2 killed, there were 12 injured. So, brothers and sisters, what did this look like to you? I ask, what does this look like to you? That's right, Sister Dunham. There's a time for peace and there's a time for war. And you got people talking peace during a time for war. You don't get it. The white man is not your friend. The white man does not love you. The white man, from the nicest halo-wearing white man that you think is nice to the low-downest, dirtiest snake in the grass white man, are on the same side when it comes to you. He's on the same side because he don't give a damn about you, brothers and sisters. He don't care about you. Now you got a Juneteenth celebration that's going on. All around you got a Juneteenth celebration. Bring your gun to the Juneteenth celebration. I open it up and I welcome you anytime. Anytime. I tell people, listen, the African American Defense League is open. We don't have any difficult rules for you to get in. The only thing we ask is for you to protect your people, protect your family, protect your mothers and fathers, protect your children, protect your husband, protect your wife. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. Protect your people that are being killed and slaughtered in the streets, brothers and sisters. Protect yourself, brothers and sisters. Love who you are and protect yourself. Because these devils are shooting us. We should have individuals in every community in America when you begin to see these kind of killings that are willing to get a gun. You don't even have to become a part of a militia. Just protect your family. That's all you got to do. And brothers and sisters, we got to talk about it. We got to talk about it, because if we don't talk about it, we're going to be finished as a people, and we will have them raising children to be slaughtered with no knowledge of themselves, no knowledge of their gods, no knowledge of their 4 ways and more ways. Our children will be raised to be slaughtered if we don't teach them self-defense. Teach them how to defend themselves against one of the cruelest beasts this world has ever seen. The white man is the devil, is the devil, is the devil, is the devil. And I will say it from the cradle to the grave. I was raised to give him hell. I can't help it, because I'm not willing to put up with it. So I can't help it, because I love our black sisters, our black brothers, our black children too much. Love them too much to sit down and not say anything when these devils are killing us all around. I mean, the list literally goes on. We've had now 500 mass shootings of black people in America. And the man will tell you, white man will tell you, if you listen to him, if you're dumb enough to listen to him, he'll tell you, because I ain't going to listen to him. But he'll tell you, be peaceful. Jesus said love. Martin Luther King said love. He tell you, be peaceful. Be peaceful. And everything the white man has gotten, he's got it through violence and bloodshed. Everything he's gotten through violence and bloodshed. That's why it's so easy for him to beat you all upside of your head and bust you all upside of your mouth and put ropes around your neck and hang you in trees and drag you down the street. That's what he does. That's what he does. That's what he does, brothers and sisters. You think that he's going to stop because of you? Because you want to be peaceful? Here he is grabbing your child and beating your child to death. Here he is raping your woman, in your face. In your face. And you can put a face with the individual and you go around, he tells you, suffer peacefully. Be long suffering. If a man require you 1 mile, go 2. And how long can you suffer after 400 years of slavery? And how long can you suffer after 200 years of sharecropping? And how long can you suffer? Because you're suffering today, and you say that you're free, but I tell you today that you're nothing but a 21st century slave. I said a 21st century slave. And I know that Juneteenth ain't nothing but a bunch of hype and jive anyway, because you ain't free. You may not be in physical change. You may not be on the plantation physically to work, a physical form of plantation work. But brothers and sisters, you own the plantation. You better wake up and see it, because I see it. Don't forget the thumbs up, brothers and sisters. Don't forget the thumbs up or thumbs down, but make sure you do something. But I can see it. I already know. I just want you to know it. That this man is not going to change anything that he's doing. Nothing at all. And we better get to the place where we're willing to truly sponsor people who are standing out. Sponsor and support those that are working for you. I'm not talking about the preachers in the pulpits either. They're not going to do anything for you. I know somebody's got mad already because I'm talking about their preacher. Here we got black pastors today, Muslim, Christian, and otherwise. My God. You see your people are hungry and you asking them to raise you money for your anniversary. You see your people are thirsty and you asking them to raise money for your anniversary. You see that they're without, losing their home, and you tell them that you need a full tank of gas in the Cadillac that just bought you with all the money that they had that's got them fighting to keep their lights on. That kind of jive and trickery, brothers and sisters. The kind of religiosity and religious foolery is damaging our community. Damaging our community. Brothers and sisters, we got to be smarter than that at this late date. That's why we're pointing out all the fakes, frauds, and phonies in the black militia movement. That's the reason why. You got to point them out. Because these will be the very ones that kill you. The very ones. Listen, I want you to understand this. Louis Farrakhan, who has posed to be a follower of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, praised the killers of Minister Malcolm. Now, it's well, how can you say that being a Muslim? It's because I'm a Muslim that I can say it. Because I don't believe that Farrakhan is a true Muslim. Proof of which, he's letting white people in the temple. He's befriended a pedophile, Father Flager. His son, Mustafa Muhammad, head of the NOI under Minister Louis Farrakhan, is on the Harvey, Illinois police force. Check it so you'll know, brothers and sisters. He encouraged Wesley Muhammad, another liar and thief and miseducator of our people, to work with his white daddy in his white corporation. Brothers and sisters, his own son has a baby by a white devil. I don't understand. And he hit people with this knowledge that Jesus said love. My God. My God. And you're mingling with the very enemy that's taking us out. Farrakhan's life is in no danger, brothers and sisters. He's been working for the white man since day one. You don't get that old fighting against the white man. You don't get that old and stay alive. Proof of which he admitted that they poisoned the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He admitted it. The man stood and admitted it. And not only that, in a speech, and then he admitted that Minister Malcolm X was worthy of death and praised the killers of Minister Malcolm. Al Sharpton has never been a real revolutionary either. Imagine how it's not even easy to take people like Al Sharpton or Jesse Jackson. You can't even take them seriously. You can't even take them seriously. Brothers and sisters, you should have enough sense to know that Jesse Jackson had Martin Luther King killed. We did a research, Brother Steve Coakley and I. We're going to talk about Steve Coakley. Did a research to show how Jesse Jackson worked with the CIA and Billy Cowles to have Martin Luther King killed. How Al Sharpton has been nothing but a penny pimp. He'll go wherever the money was. The man has never really had any organization or substance. He became popular because he was followed around and sort of raised by James Brown. And so how can you take him seriously? Look at Al Sharpton. I mean, really look at Al Sharpton and tell me how you can take him seriously. You think that he is going to ever tell you to get a gun and fight in this revolution? When there are real revolutionaries that couldn't even fly from one state to another without being heavily checked and heavily chartered. And if you had any sense, you wouldn't even use the enemy's airplane to go where you're going. You should drive. We look in this period that we're in, brothers and sisters. One of the brothers, pleased to have you on the show, brother. This brother has let us know they jacked up the prices like crazy. At this point, we're just working for slave coins. That's true. But we was working for slave coins before, brother. Companies are buying up all the properties so they can charge you high rent. That's the truth. That's the truth, brother, because we should be buying these properties if 5 of us have to get together. That's economic defense. When you bring your dollars together and take these dollars and buy property where you can renovate it, and you all can share these properties, live in them until you can renovate another property doing the same thing, that's economic defense. We need economic defense. Not only do we need economic defense, but we need clinical and hospital defense. Get black doctors and black lawyers, black doctors and black nurses come together and build their own hospitals, private or otherwise, to be able to help our own people and hire only black people. Hire only black people so you can have clinical and medical defense. We need religious defense. I said we need religious defense. Anytime you got a black preacher that's coming before you telling you to love the white man, anytime you got a black preacher coming before you telling you you should forgive the white man, you need religious defense. Because that black preacher is preaching white nationalism. And you got a lot of black preachers preaching white nationalism. Brothers and sisters, if you don't know, let me tell you so. If you don't know, let me tell you so. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He does dress like a pimp. All you got to do is look at Al Sharpton. You can't take him seriously. You can't even take him seriously. You can't do it. I mean, you have to ask yourself the question, how does somebody like Al Sharpton come from the streets? The man even had his own political show. I mean, come from the streets and end up in D.C. Now, you tell me that. I just want you to explain that to me. And Barack Obama hired him and put him there. I know that means nothing to you because you're saying, well, Obama was black. Obama looked black. Obama looked black, but he wasn't black. He looked black. Obama did carry us back an additional 25 years, and Louis Farrakhan helped him carry us back. Marching on Washington. Tell me why the hell you would need to march on Washington when King had already did it. He tried to do it and couldn't do nothing. He was marching between the feet of 2 dead men, one named Lincoln and one named Washington. And then you had A. Philip Randolph, who tried to do this in the 40s, in the late 30s and early 40s, and he was organizing people to march between the feet of 2 dead men. He tried to have a successful march, and he didn't do it. Then you had Louis Farrakhan to go again during the anniversary. And what was the anniversary about? What was it? You hadn't made any advances. You hadn't did anything for the people. What was the anniversary about? To keep you snowed and keep you blowed and keep you higher than you ever been, higher than any cocaine can take you, higher than any liquor can bring you, higher than any opium or morphine will bring you, is a religious high, a religious high. And he kept you high on religion. Kept you high on religion. And you set up your margin, you met, and they talking about the millions more movement. Justice or us campaign. Justice or else. You ain't got justice, and we ain't got nothing else. Looking at a stone cold killer and manipulator of black people. The man standing before us that had Malcolm X killed, that gave the word to have Malcolm X killed, and you got people following and praising this man, and he boasts about it. Has never put his arms around Sister Betty Shabazz, had never put his arms around the children of Minister Malcolm, and this demon boasts about it. And he has the nerve to come before you and I to tell you that the white man is his friend, and he ousted one of the best revolutionaries that the world had ever seen, and then ousted another revolutionary that was building on the same knowledge that Minister Malcolm was, Dr. Khalid. So the man, the blood trail leads to his doorstep for two men, Minister Malcolm X and also Minister Dr. Khalid Muhammad. And you got people praising this demon. The man wouldn't even attend the burial of the man he said he loved who trained him. The man put the man's wife, Sister Betty Shabazz, and the children in danger. The man lived in Boston but came to Newark, New Jersey, when the killing was happening, organizing with the man to kill Minister Malcolm. My God, brothers and sisters. My God. That's not a Muslim, that's a criminal. It's a murderer. Not a holy man. The man, nothing's honorable about that man. We forgive. Black people forgive. When we have these defense units, brothers and sisters, there's going to be a lot of it. You mark my word. Hope you're paying attention to me. There's going to be a lot of coons that's going to come out for their masters to try to take you out. Mark my word. That's the way it goes. Every killing that happened on the plantations of the past have always led to black people stopping black people. When they caught Nat Turner, it was black people and amalgamated Native American that told them where Nat Turner was hiding. All you have to do is do the research. All you have to do is do the research. His wife, Cherry Turner, who protected Nat Turner, had told us that the very people that should have been trusted to protect our brother, who was trying to end slavery by killing the plantation owner, she tells us that he was turned on by those that were close to him. It's always been. You have to do the research on Nat Turner to see this and do very descriptive reading, investigative reading, research. But Nat Turner and every revolutionary like him, every revolutionary that's ever had the same heart, has always been taken out by somebody that looked just like him or people that they trust. Don't you know the brown man is not on your side? When you're in a black revolution, that's the key word is black. The key word is black. A black revolution. Black defense teams. Defense and justice for black people. Defense and justice for black people. Bob Hicks had enough sense to know that. Huey had enough sense to know that. They learned it the hard way. They learned it the hard way. They never let anyone that wanted to help on the inside, right? Because they couldn't have it penetrated. Remember, this is a militia. So the Black Panther Party for self-defense and education could not let any other people on the inside, but they let them assist from the outside. But it was the black sellouts and brothers and sisters from the inside that had the brothers and sisters killed from the inside. Now I want you to think about this, brothers and sisters. Just try this on for size. Bobby Seale is alive, known as the Barbecue Man, writing children books, and has a famous barbecue sauce. I can see him barbecuing now. I can see him barbecuing now. He lived while Huey died. I want you to just think about it. Now I told you, here's the algorithm and the formula for assassination. All you have to do, this is the basic hint, is look for the one that is alive and ask questions. Ask questions. And I'm not talking about the rank and file. I'm talking about those that, every Jesus has a Judas. You'll hear me. The story of Jesus should tell you that every leader has somebody who is giving them the slant. That's what we said as Muslim. We say giving the slant. In other words, someone who is envious and desirous of a position of leadership and will do anything to get that position of leadership. In the Black Panther Party, I want you to just try this on for size. You can use any organization that you want. Don't forget the thumbs up, brothers and sisters. Don't forget to like and don't forget to subscribe. Please bring other people on the show because black people should be listening to this show. I'm really saying something. I'm saying something. And plus, it's a poor dog that won't wag his own tail. I'm sure you can agree. But Huey is attacked. Agents are around him. Elaine Brown was an agent. Kathleen Cleaver told us that she was an agent. Kathleen Cleaver told us about Elaine Brown in the movement. And brothers and sisters, don't you know that everything that she said was true? Because we found that Huey said out of his own mouth in 1986, and also said it again in 1971 and 1972, and he also said it in his trip to Cuba when he was getting in touch with Kathleen Cleaver about Elaine Brown. He said that she kept him high with drugs and kept him with sex and other women to have sex with him. And after she got him on this strong addiction and kept him with money for the addiction, that she began to run through the Black Panther Party. Now I want you to just think about this. And she slept with every leader in the Black Panther Party. So she used sex and money. Who does that? A spy. A female spy used sex. She used drugs, right? She used sex and drugs. Male spy, what does he use? He used a woman. He used sex and drugs. So you had a white man that Elaine Brown was dating, who was a known CIA and FBI agent who was brought in to stagnate the movement. This is stuff they don't tell you. All you have to do is research it and look it up. And you'll find out that the brother is not in error. And so, brother, they are on their jobs. Anytime you see a white person hanging in your community, you think that they're drug addicts. You think. That's what you'll think. You'll think that they're drug addicts. Or you think that they're dating somebody in the black community just by chance. Don't you know that they're sent in to spy on you and I? That these are FBI and CIA agents in your community to spy on you? Brothers and sisters, wake up. They got black people in black communities that are paid informants in the community. Whether they come out of the prison system, whether they come out of any kind of correctional facility, and they can get time off of their time served, and they're there to spy on you. Many of them will spy, lie, and occupy you. I wish I had a witness. Oh, I'm preaching now, brothers and sisters. I know this is the truth. But we've got to get wise. We've got to get wise, brothers and sisters, today and organize ourselves for defense. Organize ourselves and understand mentally, spiritually, and otherwise that the white man is not your friend. The minute you get that in your head, you're ready to go forward. The minute you get it in your head. Now, brothers and sisters, I want to make ready for the sister to come. I hope that she's ready. I hope that she's ready. That's a signal. That's a signal when I say I hope that she's ready. Make ready for the sister to come in and talk to us. Talk to us about her book. Talk to us also about the revolution. Talk to us about how we defend ourselves. Because I've already told you, we don't have grocery stores in the black community. What is economical defense? What is food defense? We plant our gardens, right? We get groceries in our own community. We own the grocery stores. We own the medicinal practices in our own community. We own the health care in our own community. These are defense. These are acts of defense. We stay with black people. If you're a black man, you should have a black woman. If you're a black woman, you should have a black man. This is relational defense. Let's talk about family defense. You should create black children with black people. If you're black, you should stay black. And if you're black and you're not staying black at this late date, then you're a danger to the movement. That's a fact. What am I saying? If you got somebody who's got somebody white on their arms, they don't need to be around studying nor taking part in any organization that you're in. Shouldn't let them do it because they are a danger to your cause. They are a danger to the black movement. If you had a black church, that black church should have a black preacher. I'm telling you this because I'll tell you what I saw one day. I just want to tell you. I saw in this black Catholic church, they had always had a black Catholic priest, was really getting mobile and really getting nationalistic, and they began to be seen as a threat. I saw this in Pine Bluff, brothers and sisters. I saw this in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. And the white man saw him as a threat. It was a shame. And I love visiting that church, that cathedral. Because the black brother that was there was talking black power. Every time he opened his mouth, he was talking black power. And I was so happy to see it. I mean, it meant so much to me to be able to see it. Well, when the Catholic Church thought that they were getting too powerful, he called in and had a white priest brought there. And these black people being conscious, I mean, imagine that these black people had become conscious enough to tell the Catholic Church that they didn't want. My God, I wish that somebody knew what I was talking about. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. I was feeling like that. They said they didn't want a white Catholic priest at a black Catholic church because they didn't believe that he understood their black Catholic experiences. Brothers and sisters, I knew that there was a God when I saw that. And I would attend that church often because this black brother was in touch with his humanity and had begun to teach that he believed that Roman Catholic priests should be able to marry. Brother, that's powerful. Greetings, Brother Kenneth. Pleased to see you, brother. Thank you. That's powerful, brothers and sisters. Just to see black people requiring people who are black. Why should you feel guilty about requiring people who are black? Why should you feel guilty? The white man doesn't feel guilty. When he requires people that are white, why does he do it? Why does he do it? He does it because he's investing in those that look something like him. It's you who's got to get ready. It's you who has to invest in people who look something like you. You got to do that. The white man can't do that for you. The white man can't do that for you. And he ain't going to make you free. Now, I know there's a lot of people right now saying, well, yeah, the white man will make you free. He's going to give us reparation. I was talking to a brother on, you can go back, this a few days ago. I was talking to a brother on Dr. Mayat's show. I caught the very end of the show and I came on because I believe the sister is doing a great job. And I'm glad, I'm proud of that sister. I'm proud of our black women. I think our black women are doing a great job with what they have to work with. Because brothers, we haven't been impressive. Many of us have not been impressive. Now you got a lot of black brothers that are doing great, but many of us have not been impressive. So we're trying to impress upon every black brother to be impressive for our black women and our black children. And black brothers, don't be ashamed to take a black woman who has children and train her. Train her. And train her children. And go to the lengths of your patience. Be patient with her and train her children. As black nationalists, even religiously, spiritually, and otherwise, so that you would have an ally in the fight. So you would have others that know how to fight and protect you. That's the way it works. You raise your protection. That's the way it works. So when we get our black women that are knowledgeable, that are self-sacrificing, that are standing in the gap, and she don't have a black man, then we'll easily turn them over. I want you to understand that. To lesbianism, easily turn them over to transgender spirits and all of those things. How? How do we turn them over? Because we're not investing in that woman. We got too many black brothers thinking they're pimps to ruin our women. And wait, we got a lot of women that are acting like prostitutes and acting unseemly that are also damaging our men. So what are we going to do? Black men and black women need to get together and get it together, build one another up, because no nation can rise any higher than this woman, and every woman needs a man. So I don't care who the person is. If you meet them and they're willing to give you their time, then you should be willing to sacrifice. You should be willing to give them your time, and you should be willing to invest in them. To bring them from darkness into light. That's relationship revolution. That's relationship revolution, brothers and sisters. And each one can teach one if each one will reach one to teach one. That's a fact. And that's where we have to get today. So, brothers and sisters, that's our aim. It should be our goal. That should be your aim and your goal as someone in the black community fighting on the lines for liberation, equality, justice. That should be your goal. That should be your goal. So, brothers and sisters, you and I, God has called you and I. He has called you and I out to do a mighty work. A mighty work. And we can't do it without our sisters. We can't do it without our sisters. So I hope Sister Joanna is ready. I hope Sister Joanna is ready to come on in and talk to us and give us what God has given her. I wouldn't come on this show without Sister Joanna coming before us and giving us what God has given her. There's no way, brothers and sisters. There's no way. Because I have enough sense to know that our black woman has the key. She has the key to our raising. She has the key to our intelligence, our deliverance. She has the key to our children. Our black woman. The black man, what do we have? We have the key to the raising. We have the key to the foundation where our black women and children can stand on. You can't have one without the other, brothers and sisters. And God didn't give us Adam and Steve. He gave us Adam and Eve. Isn't that right? Isn't that right? So God wants us to build up a unit as a family so that when we go before those that need us, we will come in strength. The first building block of any nation, the first building block of any community is the family. The first building block of any church is the family. Is that right or wrong? I said, is that right or wrong? So, brother and sister, we have to get to the place where we're willing to use the blueprint of God and the true Holy Trinity, which is man, woman, and child, to produce the fruit, my God, that God can use to change this world. And it's going to take that man and that woman to plant those fruit in a world, in a system of corruption, raising up right fruit to feed those that are in darkness, the right diet to change that mind and change that heart, from a dead level, from a place where there's no life and no strength, from a place of oppression up to a place of righteousness, a live level to a place of salvation, and in a spirit to say yes when we know this world is saying no. So we've got to build up. We've got to invest in our black community. We have to have defense. Oh, yes. That's right, brother Kenneth. That's right. From a dead level to perpendicular line. I hear you, brother. I see your light shining, brother. I see your light shining. So I think the sister is ready to come before us. And I'm going to let her come before us and teach us what she has for us. Sister Joanna, are you ready? Yeah. All right, brothers and sisters. So, brothers and sisters, if you please, I'll bring our sister in front of us. And please, brothers and sisters, look upon her, give her your attention, and we're certainly thankful for you coming on the show. Brothers and sisters, if you please.
Greetings of peace, love, and enlightenment, brothers and sisters. Hope everyone's doing well. I see we have a few viewers going on today. All right, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. All right, I know the brother was teaching you all about the deacons for defense, and speaking to you all about making sure that you guys are armed over this weekend. All right. And we want to make sure that's clear that, you don't want to be armed and get upset with your brothers and your sisters because they said something out of the way. Okay. You're not arming yourself so that you can take it out on each other. Right. But we're arming ourselves because we understand the enemy that we have. All right. We understand the enemy that we have, and we want to minimize all casualties. We're living, it's warfare right now. It's warfare right now because the illusion is dropping. The illusion is dropping. All right. And white people are angry. They're very angry, and, they can't help it. They can't help but act the way that they are. All right. Which is what happens whenever you confront an abuser or oppressor. All right. That's what they do. They just go into attack mode because that's all they know. All right. And that's when their true colors, their fangs come out. Their fangs come out because, they ain't got no reason to hide anymore. All right. So we have to understand the more and more the masses of us begin to realize and come out of this deep fog and this delusion and this deception that white is all right, because it ain't. It ain't. And if you still believe that it is, All we can do is pray that you will see the light before it's too late. That's all we can do is pray that you will see the light before it's too late. And the darkness will be moved from before your eyes so you can see what's right in front of you, because it's obvious. It's very obvious if your eyes are open. Okay, so don't walk around with your eyes closed to what's going on around you. Open your eyes so you can see what's going on around you. Okay. If you didn't know, this is not something special to you. This is not something special to us. This is all over the world. No matter where you go, anywhere in the world that you go, you learn and you study the people and the history, you will realize that there were Aboriginal people there that look like you, and the same things have happened to them, and their livelihood has been destroyed, and they're fighting against the same oppression that you're fighting against. There's only one or two places in the whole world that is not and has never been colonized. One or two places all over the world. Absolutely. We are all over the world. People like you that look like you are all over the world. You don't have to believe me. Look into it. I want you to seek it out. If you seek out the truth, you'll find the truth, but you have to seek out the truth. You got to seek it out for yourself. Don't take my word for it. You seek it out for yourself. I once was blind myself, and I thought, it can't be all white people. It can't be all white people. It's just some white people. I wanted to believe that. And sometimes you have to look within yourself and deal with the devil that's in you. And what do I mean? Yeah, you got some seeds planted in you from the devil. All right. And you have to deal with the devil in you. You understand? Those things that are in your heart that you grabbed hold to that were not true and are not true. Those lies and those illusions and those deceptions of the enemy. Right? You have to do that so that you can see the truth. So that the truth can penetrate and remain and grow and sprout and all of that good stuff. All right. So we have to understand that all over the world, the same thing as everybody that looks like you, God's people, are fighting just to live freely and live in peace. All over the world, except the places that white people are not. One of those places is Ethiopia, where they're not colonized. One of those places is Ethiopia. Has never been colonized because they fought. Okay, but they do deal with European influence and sometimes deal with civil war due to European influence. All right, so keep that in mind. People are fighting all over the world to keep the colonizer out. Okay, they're fighting all over the world due to this enemy, this agitator. Okay, this murderer, liar, raper. That's what they do all over the world. Every continent, every country that they go to. This is why over where there's more of us that are fearless, that have not been made into slaves, and the courage and godliness and righteousness hasn't been beat out of them. Okay, and molested and raped out of them. Okay, in those places, you'll see that they run the white man out and are running the white man out. Except for the few places where you have sellouts, there are sellout nations. Absolutely. Except for the few sellout nations that we have, which would be, like, I hate to say it, like Ghana, that's a sellout nation. I hate to say it, but it is. All right. I'm just throwing a couple things out there for you to look up. Just a few little things for you, just to go look up and find out for yourself. And I know it's a hard truth. Nobody wants to hear this, but you need to hear it. Nobody wants to hear this, but you need to hear it, okay? You need to understand that these people are not our friends, and you need to be able to defend yourself, and you have to defend yourself with the truth, because the greatest weapon that you have is the truth. That's the greatest weapon that we have, is the truth about who they are. The moment you really get that, so much, so much, so much liberation takes place. The moment you get that and you start making decisions accordingly, so many lives can be saved and will be saved. You understand? You have to understand that, and you have to evict Satan out of your heart. You have to evict Satan out of your heart. And that also means evicting fear out of your heart, because you can't serve two masters. You got to evict fear out of your heart. You can't fear these devils. You can't fear them. You can't fear the repercussions of standing up. Okay? You can't be afraid. If you go out of your house being afraid, they already won. Okay? Because in your heart, you're still serving the devil. You understand? Because you can't both say that God is all powerful. Mm, mm. Is God all powerful or not? Mm, mm. And some of you will be foolish and say, well, if God is all power, that means I can leave my gun at home. Mm. Somebody better have a gun. Okay? Now, we're not going to be foolish. If God's all powerful, okay? Satan tried those same tricks with Jesus. When Jesus was standing on the mountaintop, said, why don't you go ahead and just walk off this cliff? God will save you. God uses us in the earth. We're the arms of God. We're the body of God in the earth. The only way Satan gonna be expelled off the earth is when God uses us to do it. So let's not, don't do that. Don't do that. That's wayward thinking. That's wayward. Okay, it's just not real. It's not realistic. It's not based in truth. Okay, it's based in delusion. Okay, so let's not do that. Don't let Satan deceive you. Satan is not a spook, and God is not a spook. God is in us. When you look in the mirror, you should see God. When you go outside, when you see the birds, when you see the animals, when you see the trees, when you see the grass, when you see the sun, you should see God. And I know everybody ain't there, and that's fine. You can work on it. All right. We can all work on it. We all got things we can work on. All right. Sometimes I have to work on expelling fear out of my heart. We deal with harassment every day, but they never win. God always has an answer. Always has an answer. Always has an answer. And they always suffer for it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because we do serve a powerful, almighty creator that put us here on this planet to do the work that we have to do, which is to liberate our people mentally, spiritually, socially, economically, politically. All right. So we all have had our physical salvation. We're no longer in physical slavery, but many of us are still economically enslaved, spiritually enslaved, socially enslaved. Okay, so we got to liberate ourselves. So when we think about Juneteenth, we should be thinking about really abolishing all these other forms of slavery that we're still under right now. Really, some real liberation. That's what I'm praying for, real liberation to take place. Absolutely. 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 It'll be a good time to light a candle and call on your ancestors while you call on God for some real liberation. Some real liberation in this place. All praise is due to Allah. Yes, all praise is due to Allah. Yes, yes, yes. I thank the Creator. I thank the Creator for choosing me, choosing to liberate my mind. And I can only hope the same for all of you. I don't want to see anybody be a casualty. I want all of you to be on the winning side. I want everybody to be on the winning side. Everybody, everybody that's born of God. Yes. Everybody who's melanin dominant. Okay. Everybody who's God made and not man made. Absolutely. Absolutely. If you don't understand, they're not like us. We're not the same. They're melanin recessive, and that's for a reason. That's for a reason. Yeah, everybody, don't you believe that lie? Don't you believe that lie? Don't you believe that lie? Seek the truth. Seek the truth, and it'll find you. Seek the truth, and it'll find you. So I used to be in denial too. We don't want to believe that. I don't want to believe that. We all equal. You think that because you've been abused and somebody has treated you wrong and have made up all these lies and falsehoods about you as a person and have demonized you, that if you say this person is a demon, because that's what they've been calling you, you feel like you're doing the same thing they're doing. But it's not the same thing if it's the truth. It's not the same thing if it's the truth. It's not the same thing if it's the truth. Same thing happens when children are molested. That's called grooming. Yes, the minds of our people have been groomed by the great deceiver. Absolutely. Absolutely. Seek and find. You will find the truth. And you can tell me if I'm wrong or not. But you better come with some truth and not your feelings. Can't come with no feelings. You can't come with no feelings because you've been groomed. You've been groomed. A molester will make a child feel like they're the pervert. Absolutely. You're the pervert. She's fast. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Make you feel ashamed of yourself. Oh yeah. That's what abusers do. That's what abusers do. Mm-hmm. Because then what? Then you can't point the finger without feeling ashamed. But I'm here to liberate you today. Absolutely. I'm here to liberate you today. It's time to point your finger at your enemy and see who your enemy truly is and evict the enemy out of your heart. You don't need to long for their acceptance. You don't need to long for their love. You don't need to fight for it. You don't even need to desire it because you can't desire for Satan to love you and accept you if you want to be acceptable unto Allah, acceptable unto God, the creator, the most high. There's no way. You can't serve two masters. You cannot. And absolutely, yeah, I'm talking about the white man. Absolutely. Absolutely, yes, I am. I'm talking about the white man. Satan is here on the planet. He's not in some spooky place on your shoulder, whispered in your ear where you can't see him. He's a great deceiver, isn't he? Yes, he is. He's a great deceiver. Yeah, I've been deceived too. I was deceived at one point. Absolutely. I used to think that was so hateful. It's so hateful to say that white people are the devil. Yeah, I used to think like that. It's so hateful to say white people are the devil, but they do exactly what the devil does. Mm. They do exactly what the devil does. Mm. And shouldn't you know them by their fruit? You say, well, I know black people who act like the devil too. But guess what? Mm. We do have free will, right? But they've been groomed. And I've never in history, you better study and do your research and seek so you can find. No, our people have never done many of the atrocities and evil works of the white man. Only today, Only today have so many of us become like him. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And many of those people that are most like him have been made here in America. Mm-hmm. Under slavery and oppression, in the hand of the white man, going to his schools, being birthed in their hospitals, starting out with the babies. Yeah. First one to touch you is this demon and this devil. Come on. You got to be a critical thinker. God gave you a mind, use it. God gave you a mind, use it. You're afraid to think. You think if you think critically, you're going to sin against God. These people got you deceived. You're deceived. You think if you think too hard, you're going to sin against God. Lord, help us. If you read too much, you might lose your faith. Lord, help us. Please. Don't make no sense. If you connect too much with your ancestors, you gonna sin against God. That's the most foolish thing I ever heard. Foolishness. Just straight up foolishness. I've come to liberate you today. Absolutely. All praises due to Allah. Yes, the truth has come to you right now. Right now. And I thank Almighty God for his hand. Yes. And all the messengers of God. And God giving me the message directly. Absolutely. Just like God can speak to you. And so I'm praying for all of you. And I'll be lighting my candle and praying and meditating. Yes. And entering into whatever dimension I need to be in. To reach whoever I need to reach with either a loving hand or a weaponized hand. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Doing the work of God. Yes, absolutely. Because we're the hand of God in this earth. Yeah, we're the hand of God. Mm-hmm. And people will think you crazy, right? Think you crazy. You just crazy. I ain't never been so of sound mind in my life. Not in my life. The white man has made many of us mentally sick. Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. But you gotta seek the truth for yourself. You gotta seek liberation for yourself. Absolutely. And deliverance for yourself. All right, all right, all right. Yep, and I think, that's all I got. Y'all enjoy your day tomorrow. Enjoy the weekend, celebrating. And I'm not sure if the brother touched on it or not, but we all need to understand that nobody just freed us from slavery. We fought for that. We had to kill some people to be physically free. We had to. We had to. Okay. So you need to understand, those of you who are scary, go ahead and evict the devil out of your heart. Mm-hmm. Evict the devil out of your heart. Because you can't have two masters. Everybody can't have all power. So either you got all power because you attached to the creator who has all power, or you need to ask yourself, who has all power? Who has all power in your heart? Who do you really believe has all power? Who do you really believe has all power? Really? Who do you believe has all power? All right. All right. So you're going to have to liberate yourself. You're going to have to fight. Yes. You're going to have to. You're going to have to fight for your liberation, my people. That's the only way you're going to be liberated. Mm-hmm. All right. I saw a couple things today on social media. Very disturbing. A brother was was attacked by a mob driving through a white neighborhood. You're gonna go to a white neighborhood or live in a white neighborhood, you better have you a AK. You better have something to defend yourself. Okay? A video is not gonna save your life. Okay? Well, I don't want to see any more casualties. I don't want to see any more casualties. Y'all gonna have to think critically and understand. You're gonna have to think critically and understand who Satan is and who you are. You need to know who you are. You are God's people. You're God's people. God has breathed the breath of life into you. For those of you who do read the scripture and do like the scripture, God did show me today. There's a passage in Revelations. I have not read it recently, but there is a passage in Revelations that talks about after the resurrection. After the resurrection. After the resurrection, God gave Satan a time to test the people, to test the righteous. Gave them a time to test the righteous, to see if he could deceive them. Don't let Satan deceive you about who you are and who he is. You have to know. And if you don't know, seek and you'll find. Because that's what I had to do. Nobody can really teach you that. Not really. They can tell you, but you ain't gonna really receive it until until you're ready to receive it. So, I'm praying for everybody right now because I don't want to see any more casualties. I really don't. I really don't. All right. Stay away from these folks. Stay away from the devil. Stay away from Satan as much as possible if you can help it. Absolutely. And if you are, be aware. Be aware. Be prepared. Okay? Be prepared for Satan to do what Satan does. Be prepared for let me speak plain. Be prepared for white people to do what white people do. Be prepared for that. Yeah. I don't want to hear any stories over the weekend. I don't want to hear any stories about any casualties this weekend without there being 10 times as many on the other side. That's where we at. I love you guys. I love you guys. I love you guys. Love yourself. Love your people. Let's protect Black lives. Let Black lives really matter. Stop running your mouth and talking and be about it. Okay? All right. That's all I gotta say. And yeah, I'm gonna let Brother Minister's gonna come back and close out. And I hope you all have a wonderful night. Have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy yourselves. And while you're enjoying yourselves, make sure you stay watchful. Peace. Black power. Dr. Millere. Dr. Millere, I think you're ready, right? You gonna close us out? We're tag teaming with the children.
Thank you to our sister who came and taught us with the knowledge. And brothers and sisters, I want to thank you for paying attention to the Queen, because I can't be what I am without this sister. And I think she does a great job, a wonderful job in teaching us and coming her own way. So all of these are methods of defense. And I want to thank you for the time that you've given us. I want to thank you for the time that you have shared with us. And thank you for listening attentively to the sister, to what she has to give. And I want to thank God for all the time that you share with us. Brothers and sisters, there's no doubt in my mind, when I say that you and I are at the period where God has and is setting us free to do his awesome will, you and I, at this period. So I'm very thankful. I'm thankful for you. Thankful for the period that we're in, and I'm thankful for the work that God is doing in this period that we're in, that you and I might be encouraged in the work that he has set us to do. So I'm very thankful for that. And I think that you should be thankful with all the things, all the liberty that God has given us. Because it's these liberties that shall set you and I free. These liberties shall set us free. So I leave you in peace. The same way I brought you, I leave you in peace. And my desire, my prayer is that I've said something here tonight, something that you can use, something that you'll be able to take back to that brother or that sister that is not at this point able to make the show, but someday will make the show. And we pray that when that day comes, that they're able to make it. We pray that God will use them. We pray that God will use them to be able to strengthen us, be able to rise as soldiers, but not only that, be able to strengthen us in a time such as this. So I want to thank you for all that you've done, and thank you for all that you will do, and to tell you not to forget that today here, you and I, what are we doing? What is our mark? Our mark is to ignite and to wake brothers and sisters up. That should be your and my plan here, to wake brothers and sisters up so that they'll be able to hear this truth. And we need this kind of truth. They'll be able to hear this truth and be moved to hear this truth and be moved to do something in their community. If we don't do it, it won't get done. If we don't do it. So I think I've kept you long enough in this. And again, I want to thank you for your participation. Don't forget to bless us any way that you possibly can. I'm not begging. Tell brothers and sisters, because we have something to give you for what you've given us. But even if you don't buy a book, please donate. I want to put the Cash App down if you can. If not, don't worry. I'm on the show anyway, nightly, because I want to make this a success. And I want to, and when I say success, that means that I want to bring this knowledge to more people. Not for myself, but bring it to more people, because I have enough sense to know that we are being killed every day and every week. You and I are being killed. Somebody is being killed. Some mother is losing a son or daughter. And I have enough sense to know that. So that's what I mean, that you would give it. Thank you, Brother Kenneth. That you would give it, knowing that your giving is not in vain, so that we can continue to feed our people in word and knowledge, and be there for them in any way that we can, deed, whatever it may be, that we're able to be there. Don't forget that we'll be on tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. We will be on at 7 o'clock. And I believe that's all I have for you. Make sure you have Juneteenth tomorrow in your respective towns. Brothers and sisters, make sure that you are safe, that you are carrying some heat. It might get cold out there. Make sure that you're carrying some heat. make sure that you're protecting yourself. Make sure that you are protecting yourself. So that's the only thing. The only thing that I have for you as we get ready to leave this place. I hope that I covered everything. The link for the book is at the top. The link for the book is at the top. I'm trying to do several things at once, trying to multitask. But the link for the book is at the top. So that the link so that you could purchase the book is at the top, and any book on there you're able to purchase. Whatever you donate, we will definitely send you a book or whatever, so that you can definitely have it. But please be safe out there. This is no laughing matter. Juneteenth is no laughing matter, and I want everybody to be safe. I rather know that you're safe. So we're leaving. Peace be unto you, brothers and sisters. I salute you. I love you. And as I came before you earlier, I come before you again. I come in peace. Assalamu alaikum, which means peace be unto you. Peace. That peace that God gives, that peace that the world can't take away. I come to you with that peace. So I say assalamu alaikum to the Christian, the Muslims. Peace be unto us all. That's right. Peace be unto us all. And continue the fight in freedom, which is going to take you and I to kill what's negative in us, to stand together in unity and make sure that the voice, peace, and teachings of God is reaching all four corners of this earth. Assalamu alaikum.